Hey guys, Dungeon Builder back again. Just wanted to do a quick video today talking about magic items and how to make them. Just kind of some brief overarching ideas on how to make magic items. And I'm going to talk about 3 items that I actually made that feel free to use. Take them, steal them, modify them, and they're all on D&D Beyond. I created them on there and made them public, so yeah, if you use D&D Beyond, feel free to take them and throw them in your game. Yeah, magic items, they can kind of be a pain in the butt. I know when I started DMing, it was a little confusing, because there's like, how much do they cost? How easy are they to find? Do you give them out too quickly, like I did, and then your game is kind of like running amok? Magic items don't have to be difficult. I think it's all about the timing of giving them to your players, but also what the item can do. As the DM, you're in control of all that. You can kind of turn that faucet, that spigot, on high or low. Now, the hard thing is if something has gotten out into your world, you've given one of your players the ultimate behemoth sword of slaying, and they're just wiping the floor with everything, it can seem like kind of a big challenge to pull that back. You don't want to just say, oh, by the way, your sword broke, when they roll like a nat 1. That sucks. That sucks for the player. It doesn't feel very fair. You gave them that sword. Now work around it. Come up with some creative ways. Maybe that sword is the long-lost artifact to a kingdom, and they will stop at nothing to reclaim it once they've heard tales of this sword being used in battle by this adventurer. So that can add like a twist element to that magic item, and maybe there's an even bigger reward or something else that they will give to that party in exchange for that magic weapon. Get creative. Don't just break the sword or break the item or steal it away in the middle of the night like a goblin sneaks in your camp and stole that magic item. Whoops, it's gone. I mean, I guess if you do that, whatever, it could work. Try and add some flavor to it. Or if it's really bad, just go to your player outside of the game and be like, hey bro, I know I gave you the behemoth sword of slaying, but it's kind of like ruining the game and ruining everybody else's fun. Poor, Hector over here hasn't been able to, slay an enemy in weeks because you've just been destroying everything. Do you think we could, modify it a little bit? Your table. It's all good. Anyway, back to magic items in general. Yeah, I prefer magic items that aren't mega powerful, but they do interesting things, tie into either minor spells. I love items that give people the ability to Misty Step, because it's such a dynamic spell, and especially for like a martial class, having an item that allows them to jump around the battlefield, it's not going to affect damage, but it is going to allow for some creative uses in that item. So let's dive into the first item that I created here. Okay, so the first magic item is the Ring of Fading Shadow. Is that right? I had it right. Okay. The Ring of Fading Shadow. This item allows the wearer, once attuned, to turn invisible as much as they want. They can turn invisible with an action. It lasts for 1 hour or until, they attack or use a spell or anything like that. But there's no recharge on this item. So like normal items, it'll recharge at dawn or something like that. Not this one. Now you might say,
that's pretty overpowered. What are you doing to my game?
Here's the thing. I like to have risk and reward. So they can turn invisible, but every time they use the ability of this ring, they have to make a Constitution saving throw. It's a con save of 12, nothing crazy. If they pass, great, they turn invisible. But if they fail, the ring siphons a little bit of their life force. Here's the thing. Whether they make the save or not, it increases each time. So the first time they use the ring, it's 1d6 of their HP being drained. Not too bad. It's worth using the ring. Say they make the save. Not a problem. They have a pretty high con. Well, the next time, even if they made the save, next time they go to use it, it's 2d6, 3d6, 4d6, 5d6. So the more they use the ring, the higher they're weighing that. Yeah, it's a DC of 12, But if your dice betray you and you roll on that one, and all of a sudden you have to take 8d6 of damage to turn invisible, I kind of like that concept. So the more you use it, the riskier it becomes. I don't know. I think that's fun. It adds some excitement, a little bit of drama to using the magic item. So then they're thinking, they have to calculate, all right, the more I use it, the riskier it gets. So I need to save this for the right time. I don't know. I think that's fun. Let me know what you think of that item. And like I said, this is on D&D Beyond. I made it public, so feel free to add the Ring of Fading Shadow to your game. All right, item number 2, Amulet of the Undead. This one is pretty neat just in the fact that it doesn't make them stronger necessarily or give them any bonuses to attack. Wearing the Amulet of the Undead gives the person the ability to speak to undead creatures. So say they walk into a dungeon and there's some like roaming undead skeletons. They can now talk to them as if they, spoke the language. So any undead creature gives them the ability to speak. Oh, it also makes them immune to any disease. That's the other thing. So they can speak to undead and they're immune to any disease. The drawbacks are that the amulet actually kind of pulls undead towards them. Like undead in the area are going to be drawn towards the amulet. Not only does it kind of pull undead towards the amulet, but that wearer is also vulnerable to attacks from undead. So kind of cool. Little, back and forth there. Usually you can't speak to undead creatures, which is kind of neat. Makes you immune to disease. So if you're in the right setting, I feel like this could be a really exciting item. Or if you're in like kind of a cursed land where there's lots of undead, can really kind of change things up. Especially imagine if you gave it to like a cleric who then can talk to the undead, but if things go bad, they can like try and, destroy them with their divinity. I don't know, makes for some neat ideas, and I like the idea that it pulls the undead in, almost like a beacon. It draws them in, so there's some flavor that a DM could really work with there. Feel free to use it. All right, and finally, item number 3 is the Staff of Elemental Power. This thing is a little more outrageous. It's a little bit more of a high-level, powerful item. I wouldn't just be throwing this one around. This one has charges like a normal magic item, and it pretty much is just based around the elements. So it can cast Ice Wall, Conjure Elemental, Sleet Storm, just anything with the elements. I thought that's pretty cool. But I like to give my magic items a little bit of a flaw. I call them arcane flaws. So every time you use the staff to cast one of these spells, there's a chance that the raw elemental energy inside might erupt. So when you use it, you have to roll a d100. If you roll between a 1 and a 20, it pretty much explodes with elemental power. And you roll a d4 to decide whether you cast Fireball centered on yourself or Cone of Cold centered on yourself, but you're also affected by the spell. Again, risk and reward. Has a lot of power, gives the person a lot of cool spells, a lot of access to some higher level spells that are really useful, but there's that chance that you go to use it and then you cast Fireball on yourself and anybody around you. So I just enjoy putting that risk. It's like that little bit of gamble on the player. I got this sweet item, but now is it worth it? Is the juice worth the squeeze? You know what I'm saying? So 3 magic items. Feel free to go check them out on D&D Beyond. Add them to your game. I'd love to hear any items that you came up with that you use in your game. Drop them in the comments. Let me know what you think of these. Yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Oh, before I forget, I updated my merch store here. Put some sweet new shirts on. I really like the new designs. I went back and updated some of the old designs too because I wasn't super happy with them. Elder Ooze, I went back and updated that. I added a sweet picture to the back of like a giant ooze monster towering over an adventurer. Yeah, go check out my web store on Teespring. Links down below, obviously. But yeah, would love if you checked it out. I appreciate all of your support, even just watching the videos. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, share with a friend. Just help me grow the channel at all. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate you guys and all your time. Let me know if there's a topic you want me to cover next. Thank you so much for your support. I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Magic items, you know what I'm saying? Just a whole world of magic items, and they never tell you how much they cost. That is the hardest thing for me. I don't know how much to price these stupid magic items, so I usually pretty much always underprice them. My players end up with a ton of stuff, or they find it in the wild and don't have to pay anything for it. Anyway, see you guys.